into the rain. Again, welcome. Let's do it. That's right. Welcome, everybody, to Active Rain University. My name is Bob Stewart. Today, I've got my friend Greg McDaniel here, and we're going to be talking about real estate scripts. You know what to say and when to say it, right? It's a very important part of your guys' business, and I think a lot of people, Greg, and we'll talk maybe a little bit about this, they get scared by the script, right? It's this idea that I'm going to sound like a robot. So you guys have seen this guy before. Some of you have, at least. Greg's been with us a number of times. I want to say it's your fourth or fifth time here on Active Rain University. Greg, welcome.
Thanks, buddy. Hey, man, as always, we are going to kill it today. I have prepared and been doing research. I got up at 4 o'clock in the morning, you guys. I just want to tell you that at 4 o'clock in the morning, I woke up and I'm like, oh my God, I got to get in here and do some more value add for you. So Bob and I are going to bring it for you. I'm going to go over a couple of different things for you. One of the most important things we're going to talk about right up front for a couple of slides is going to be mindset. Okay, our mindset in our business, we traditionally just get hammered on a daily basis. I mean, there are so many times that when we go out there, we're trying to talk with people and they're just telling us no, 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 no. And it's like a dog that keeps getting kicked. You don't want to keep going back to the same place, right? So we don't go back to those scenarios anymore, and then our business dwindles, and then we get upset with ourselves of why are we doing this business? We should be doing something else, right? Well, I'm going to show you the tips and scripts to do what I do with my team up here, and what I've been taught for the last 15 years in the business by my father, who is a 42, almost 43-year veteran in the industry. So, Bob, let's go to our next screen. Let's take a look at mindset, belief. This is where it needs to start every single day for you guys. When I get out of my bed at 4 o'clock, usually in the morning, 4:15, the first thing I do is I put my feet on the ground and I say an affirmation. Like, I am so thankful to be alive. I'm so thankful to be up. I'm so thankful that I can go work out, so on and so forth. And it gets my day going. That gets my belief going. So let's start on the left. And this goes for business, personal, goes for anything in life. This can be a positive or this can be a negative factors, and these are very, very powerful, and they'll influence all aspects of you. So let's take a look at belief. Belief, as you can read right here, is the amount of belief that you have that determines the amount of potential you can tap into. Slide to the left. So if you believe you have potential, then you're going to put more action into it, right? So the amount of potential determines the amount of action that you're going to take. AKA, let's take a quick scenario here. If you believe that you are fully empowered by the scripts and knowledge that you need to go out and get a client, then you're going to have a lot of potential. A lot of potential turns into a lot of action, like making those cold calls, making those warm calls, doing a pop-by, doing a door knock, doing a follow-up. We're going to get into all of those with additional scripts and more later on in the webinar. But the more action you take has a direct effect on the results that you will see. Right now, I am working with a very good friend of mine. She is an agent in my brokerage up here, and we have a friendly banter back and forth. It is a daily, communication of like, okay, what's your number? Like, what do you mean, what's my number? It's like, how many leads are you going to get today? And I'm like, okay, I'll do 3 today. Okay, we'll do 3. Whoever gets to 4 first wins. And you know what? And the reason why I like it so much is because I believe in my potential. And that it puts into action all my results at the end of the day. So the first day she beat me by 1. The next day I beat her by 2. And then yesterday we had a competition who can have the most sellers. Only sellers. Buyers didn't count. I got 4, working on 5. It's because I believed in myself from my past actions, and that is absolutely paramount when it comes to your success in this business. Right now, think about a time. It could be yesterday, it could be a portion today, it could have been last week, when your belief system was weak. Therefore, your actions and your potential were weak, and then your results were weak, and you said to yourself, look, I totally believe these results are exactly what I thought would happen. I believe that I couldn't do it. But then there's that other time when you go out there and you just know that you know that you know that you're going to be able to just kill it. Be like, I'm going to go out and I'm going to get this listing. Well, that put into action your potential, which then put into your action, which then put into your results. You get the listing. You're like, see, I told you I could do it. I rule. Well, guys, this is something that you have to positively influence into your life and implement on a daily basis. Every day, start this off, reinforcing that you can go out there. And by the end of this webinar, you're going to have scripts. And Bob hasn't told you this yet, but I have 3 scripts for you and a couple of other things that you're going to be able to use in your daily business. Well, let's go to the next one, my friend. Okay, problems in sales conversions. I mean, leads are nice. They're pretty. You can pay for them. You can go get them. You meet a nice person. But if you don't convert them, then you don't have a pay date, right? So where's there a big problem with our sales conversions? Well, sales conversions really come down to you having the ability of being an amazing salesperson. You know, all communications that take place between a buyer or a seller and yourself is just energy flow. It's just how powerful and how positive or how low and how weak you would be, and that determines your conversions. Here are a couple of fun facts for you. When it comes down to communicating with a buyer or seller, or personal life, spouse or brother, sister, family, whatnot, 7% of the entire communication is words. That's all it is. It's just words. So you're sitting there going, Greg, I'm going to spend an hour of my time with you, and you're telling me that only 7% is going to be scripts and words? What the heck am I doing wasting my time with you? Well, it's this next two stats is why you need to spend time with me. 38% is your tone of voice. So you can be, hi, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. I think I can sell your house. Or it's like, hey, man, thank you so much for having me over. What a beautiful home. Man, that's a great looking vase over there, right? Positive, upbeat stuff. But here's the real kicker, okay? It comes down to 55% of communication is body language. It is unbelievable how powerful it is. So you're standing tall and straight, your shoulders are square, and you're confident. You shake that hand nice and hard, not ripping their hand off, but nice and firm and giving them a hello. That conveys to them positive, powerful energy that you are a professional. You can get this done. But if you come in there with a dead fish handshake, shoulders shrunk in, and kind of looking at the floor the whole time, would you want that person selling your house, even if they had the best script on earth? Absolutely not. So look at yourself. What are you doing right now? Are you concentrating solely on just your words, and you're not concentrating on your tone of voice and your body language? That is one of the things that I've worked on every single time that I go out. There has been studies done on body language, and what they say is that if you want to do power poses, a power pose is if you were to sit at your desk, lean back, put your feet up on the desk, and just sit there, like with arms folded, and just kind of like you're the king or queen. That's a power pose. You hold that power pose for about 2 to 3 minutes prior to going on any meeting. You will have a more powerful presence when you're there. Also, if that one doesn't suit you, maybe ladies, if you're wearing a skirt and that's not comfortable for you, go stand up in your office. Or if you're at a meeting or somewhere else, you don't have an office, you have a cubicle. Go into the bathroom, close the stall door, and do the V, the power V. You guys all know it. We all do it when we're victory. You stand there, you open your legs slightly, put your hands directly up in a V above your head, and you sit there and hold that for 2 minutes. That will get you in a state and a mindset that will help you overcome anything that's going to be down the road in regards to any kind of negativity you're going to be influenced with.
So it's interesting, Greg. That stuff just segues, right? Like the last slide that you had in terms of just getting out of bed in the morning is like you start to set the tone for everything, and that leads to like, do I feel confident in doing these things?
Oh, 100%. I mean, I talk to myself every morning on the way to the gym, like this is going to be an amazing day. I cannot wait for this. This is going to be awesome. I'm so blessed for that. Just like you're pumping yourself up. It sounds stupid, okay? Yeah, believe me, I was not a believer of it for a long period of time, but when I started putting it into action, it is ridiculous how fast things change. So I challenge you to do it. Bob, you're 100% right, my friend. But, the next thing we have here is now we understand kind of a little bit about conversion, kind of mindset, so on and so forth, and some stats. But here are 5 techniques of effective communication. Now, I wish I could take credit for these 5, but I can't. I just came back from Tom Ferry, and I got to tell you guys, what I'm going to show you right now are amazing. I mean, these 5 techniques are going to be awesome. So here's number 1. It's memorize, rehearse, and internalize your scripts, okay? 93% of agents that go out without a script are ineffective in their sales. And people wonder why we fail all the time, or we say the wrong things, or we fumble. It's because we're not prepared. You know what? But you don't want to sound scripted. You don't want to sound like Bob said in the beginning. You don't want to sound like a freaking robot. You want to sound elegant. You want to sound smooth. You want to sound confident in everything that you do. So here are a few things to do to kind of alleviate that robotic sound in the future. Because I know all of you are going to go out. We have like 500 or so people on this call. You're going to go out and you're going to start doing these things. So here they are. Number one, memorize your scripts. Not so that you're like, hi, my name is Greg McDaniel. Thank you for letting me in. Boy, that is a beautiful front door. Don't do that, okay? You want to go in and you want to just say, hey, thank you so much for having me here. I truly appreciate you taking your time. And before you guys get into the house, should I take my shoes off? Or may I come in? Simple things like that. And you just want to ask them to be flowing, to be smooth with it. Now, if you don't know how you sound and you just keep talking, you're like, God, was that a good take? Was it a bad take? Start recording them. Every one of you has a smartphone. I guarantee it. You have a recording device on your phone. Record your script and then listen to it and then tweak it. And then you will learn from there. Now, at that point, you want to start internalizing it. Take the script and make it yours. A lot of the stuff that I'm going to talk about today, this is the stuff that I do, okay? It might not be what you do, and that's totally fine. And I want you guys to make it your own. I want you to be comfortable doing it. You know what? And so, basically after that, after you've internalized, so let's go over this again. You're going to memorize your scripts. You're going to start recording them, and you're going to start listening to them. You're going to internalize them, aka making them your own. Final part of number one is that you're going to go and you're going to find some role play partners. It could be maybe your spouse for a little bit, although I don't highly recommend that because that could cause some stress. It could be your manager. It could be another agent. It could be your best friend. Find someone that you trust that will run scripts with you until you're comfortable with it. It helped me when I first got into business, and I still do it with my friends from time to time. Number two, control your internal dialogue. Guys, look, for myself and for you, if our internal dialogue, if we had friends that talk to us the way that we talk to ourselves, we wouldn't be friends with that person. We would probably, report them for abuse. So you have got to control your internal dialogue. You have to take that attitude shift and really start making it a positive way of thinking. That's why we're talking about, the potential actions, results, beliefs, all that stuff. So just take a deep breath and control your dialogue and tell yourself, look, I can do this. I have no problem here. Third, speak with authority. Speaking with authority, it actually creates action. Now, what do you mean by that? Well, there are certain tones that leaders, which all of you are, speak in. There is an uptone and there's an upswing and a downswing. Now, we all do this from time to time. Now, I want you guys to do this. This is a kind of a dorky thing, but wherever you are, you guys know what a karate chop looks like, right? Okay, just practice doing a karate chop really quickly for me. Now, when you do a downswing tone sounds like this. Well, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, you like the house? We should sign the contract now. There's a finality to it. They're very, very effective, right? You want to follow that voice. An upswing is this. Well, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, I think we should sign that contract. Now, which one do you follow? Which one sounds more commanding? Bob, which one would you follow?
I was doing the karate chop down. We should sign this contract now.
Now. And you know what? A lot of people, they're always like, well, do you want to sign the contract? And that doesn't give a lot of confidence to your buyers or sellers. You have to show them that you are the leader. This is the way you need to go. And you know what? And your body language will change when you do that. So keep that in mind. Karate chop, downswing, sign the contract. All right. Because we all want to make money in this business, right? All right. Number 4, use a response pattern. So why do you think people don't answer some questions maybe that you're asking them? And I was actually really interested to hear these answers when I was down with Tom last week, and this is what I heard. Number 1, you sound like you don't care. So it's like this. So yeah, so how long have you guys lived here? Oh yeah, okay. That doesn't sound like I really give a rat's rear end about anything, right? But if I come in or you come in and say, so tell me about this. I mean, how long have you guys been here? This is beautiful. I would want to answer you. So watch your language. And the second reason why people don't answer questions that you pose to them is this, and this blew me away. They're afraid that you will reject them. That is powerful stuff. Why would they think that they're going to be rejected? Well, it's because it's how we communicate with people. You know, the response pattern that you need to have in these different conversations is as follows in these next 4 steps. Ask a question. Hey, Bob, you know, how long have you folks lived here? Guess when you answer me.
2 years.
2 years? That's amazing. So, where'd you guys come from?
We moved from Seattle.
Seattle? Well, that's excellent. See, what I did there is I asked a question, I let him answer, I repeated the answer, and then I gave him approval for that answer. Now, you want to be careful on this one. You know, if you ask someone, you know, hey, so why you folks, you know, think about having in? Why are you folks thinking about making a move?
We're getting a divorce.
What'd you say?
We're getting a divorce.
I was just going to say that.
I know.
So they say you're getting a divorce. You say, oh, a divorce. That's excellent. That's not the right response. You mean you want to give some sort of a response to them saying, look, you know, hey,
you still keep that pattern going, right? It becomes, oh, a divorce, man, that's a really tough time, and I'm you know, that's unfortunate, but I'm here to help you guys move through that, right? I mean, it's about the pattern and being able to move through it, and now you've got your next question, right? We get that out of the way, and we're able to pattern our questions.
Exactly. You know, and that's the thing that, you know, we don't do sometimes, and you always have to give them, the okay to be who they are. You know, because when you get into their house, you're probably most likely a stranger for you know some part of it, and you're in their home and they're going through a traumatic or some sort of a major shift in life, either positive or negative, and sometimes they don't want to share the real reasons. Give them the approval to be who they are and going through what they're going through, and you will see a happier client. So number 5, bring in the energy, guys. When you get there, you better be pumped, ready to rock and roll. You better be prepared. Do the V stance, you know, put the legs up, what we talked about, and you know what? Do the simplest thing a person can do to bring joy to another person. It's simply smiling. Give them a smile. Smile, not like a creeper smile, but like a confident, like, hi, I'm a warm, genuine, caring human being who was going to help you walk through this stuff. So those are some of the easy steps that I found to really kind of help with techniques for effective communication. Bob, BHAG. Does anybody know what a BHAG is? I was dumbfounded when I found out what this thing was. It stands for Big, Hairy, Audacious Goal. What is your big, hairy, audacious goal? Because if you don't have one, you need to find one. And I'm not talking about like, well, I did like 6 or 7 transactions last year, and maybe I'll do like a 7th one this coming year. No. Big, hairy, audacious goal. You did 7 transactions this year. I want to do 25 next year, or I want to do 50 next year. That's a big, hairy, audacious goal. Right now, if you are somewhere, Bob, I want you to do this right now so they can hear this from you.
Okay.
And I'll tell you mine as well. Take a couple of seconds. I'll keep talking, but get a piece of paper. Write down your big, hairy, audacious goal. This is the one that scares the snot out of you. You're sitting there going, holy crap, I have absolutely no idea how I'm going to get this. Should I even attempt to write this down? I'm embarrassed to write this down. Well, you know what? I took this one and I ran with it. We were sitting at the conference, and everyone's writing down what their goals are going to be like. Oh, I'm going to make like 10 more sales next year. Well, guess what I did? I took it and I ran with it. I said, you know what? Screw this. I'm going for it. I wrote down, I want to be, on my net worth, I want to be worth $650 million in 10 years. That's a big, hairy, audacious goal. Do I have any idea how I'm going to get there? Absolutely none. But you know what? Does that mean that I can't shoot for it? What if I become worth 100 million or 50 million or 25 million? I'm not hurting, but I'm still shooting for something huge. So, Bob, since I shared my BHAG, you share your BHAG with everybody.
I want to retire at 45.
How old are you now?
37.
Great. Do you know how you're going to get there?
I have a pretty good idea.
Good. And plans are in action. You're seeing success moving forward, right?
Yep.
Now, you guys, my email is going to be at the end of this. I want you guys to email me your BHAG. I want you to put it out there, because as soon as you put it out there, then it's out there in the world, and you have basically an accountability partner, right? And I would love to hear from you and just kind of build friendships around the country.
I mean, this becomes part of why you learn these scripts, why you internalize them, why you get better at communicating, right? I mean, for most of us in this business, it's going to be something around our our financial dreams, our business goals, or something like that. But you're never going to have the reason to work on these things and get better at some of these scripts we're going to talk about here in a minute than if you have this kind of big, hairy, audacious goal sitting out there somewhere in your vision.
Exactly. And you know what? Another tip for this, because you keep this in front of you, everyone can write down their goals and dreams. That's real pretty and nice. Do this. Get some lipstick. It's really sticky. Write it on your shower wall. See it every morning. Remind yourself every day about this, and I bet you anything you will meet your goal. All right.
You want to know what Greg? I have a recurring daily reminder on my phone. Every morning at 9:15, that pops up on my phone.
Really? I love that. You guys figure it out wherever it is, man. Get it in front of you, and let's do this. All right. Those of you who know me, have heard from me, who talk with me, anything, I preach this next subject matter, and it is the Ford technique. If any of you have not heard of the Ford technique, you know what? I'll tell you right now, it is the most powerful thing I have ever taught anybody ever. I have taught people all over this country. And every time they use this, they put it into action, they always come back to me and say, Greg, that's the best thing I've ever learned. The first door knocking camp I ever taught, they actually came back, they're young guys, they came back after college, and they're like, Greg, the Ford technique helped me get more dates and helped me get out of more trouble with my professors. So let's dive into this thing, okay? So Ford, family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. How do you put this into action? This is simply a conversation technique. It's in it and a script at the exact same time. So family. Hey Bob, how are you, man? I haven't talked to you for a while. How's your girlfriend doing, man? You guys still together, right?
Yeah, she's doing good.
Oh, she's doing well, man. Now, you have a child, right?
I do, yeah.
How are they doing?
He's 7. He's getting ready to go back to school. He'll be in 2nd grade. He's doing well.
Oh my God, is he still playing soccer?
Yeah, soccer, football. He brought in lacrosse this year.
You know what, guys? That's awesome. I have 4 nephews and 1 beautiful little niece, and they're just starting to get into soccer. Okay, you guys see where that's going? It's getting into the family stuff, getting personal with them. How you doing? You guys go on that vacation, so on and so forth. Then you break into occupation. You're still with Active Brain, right?
I am. You've joined me, so you know that. I'm not sure why you're asking me this random weird question, Greg. But.
No, you guys got purchased, didn't you, by a big company?
Yeah, we did a couple of times in the last 2 years. Yeah.
So the thing is that you're doing here is you're just asking about their job. You're getting inside, with them. You're asking, things about them. Are you looking forward to retirement? If you don't know them, gee, that's an interesting occupation. How did you get into it? Did you go to school for it? Would you do it again? A powerful question I always ask people is, I would love to help you grow your business. What is the perfect client that you're looking for, so I can keep my eyes and ears open for you? That is an incredibly powerful segue, because people always think of us agents as being bloodsuckers. We're 1 level down from attorneys. We're on the same level as attorneys. And I apologize if any of you are attorneys, but you all know what I'm talking about. So then it goes into recreation. So, what have you been doing lately? Are you a boater? Are you a foodie? Do you guys like to go to the mountains? Do you guys go to the desert? What do you do when you're not working so darn hard, right? I'm a boater, so I love to talk about boats. I like to eat. I'm becoming more of a foodie, so I like to talk about food stuff. And it's a very easy way for you to find common ground, maybe if you guys like wine or whatnot. And then the last, though, is a really powerful one, is dreams. Where do you guys want to be in the future? Do you want to stay in town? Do you want to move out of town? Are you looking to buy a couple more investment properties, or are you guys selling some? Just get a hold of what their dreams are in their personal life. And the beautiful part about this conversation technique is that you don't have to go in order. Everyone thinks, well, I got to talk about the family, then the occupation, then the recreation, and the dreams. No. What if it starts off with, you're out at a park, at a dog park, and you're talking about recreation. Then it turns into the family. And then, hey, what do you do for a living? And then, gosh, how long have you been here? Dreams. Are you guys going to stick around? This can be used in any order that you want it to go in, just as long as you remember that if this conversation starts to get a little bit stale, like, okay, I'm done talking about my family. Great. What's next? And there's that awkward silence. Oh, yeah. Hey, what do you do? What do you do for a living? Oh, well, I blah, 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 blah. So This is available, Bob. I'm going to give this to them as well. The Ford Technique slide. I
I mean,
have this up.
this becomes so much, Greg, about just the internalization of these things, right? Because once you internalize this, there's never an awkward pause. When
No.
you have Ford internalized, you know I'm going from this to that, right? It's that
Mhm.
that cadence of the conversation that becomes so powerful.
It is, and being, if they're not a doorknob of a human, they're going to have a conversation with you, and it's the beautiful part when they say, because you're the law of reciprocity kicks in, and all of a sudden you're just like, they're like, well, what do you do for a living? Oh, I'm a real estate agent. Oh, really? How's the market? It's amazing. And you go from there, and now you're off and running. But you showed them that you already cared about them. That's the most important thing out of this entire slide that you need to get. Show that you care, and they will start caring about you.
People like to talk about themselves, no question about that. All right,
Favorite favorite
feel,
topic.
felt, found. What's that all about?
Bill Felt found the triple Fs. This is a fantastic conversation when you're working with buyers or sellers, and it goes, something like this. Again, everybody's going to have their own tweaks and touches to it. I did it the other day with a buyer of mine. We were actually out at a house. We were debating between two different properties. We decided on one property, and they were going, "Gosh, well, should we make an offer? Should we not make an offer?" And I just did this. You know what, guys? I totally I understand your feelings right now, and I understand how you feel. Trying to go through this. What I felt when I first purchased my home, is a little bit of nervousness, a little bit of anxiety. But what I found at the very end was that it was the best decision I could possibly make. And I now am happily in my home for over 10 years. So the feel, felt, found, it's giving them permission to feel a little nervous or anxiety, or it's giving them permission to feel whatever emotion they're going through, anger if it's a nasty sale, something, maybe a divorce or something, but just building that bond with them, and letting them know, hey, I've gone through this too. It's okay. This is what I feel. I feel the same way. I felt it in my past, and this is I found a success. I found this result. So internalize this, try this, play with this. Next time you're out, maybe you're going to be doing a showing or a listing appointment later today. Put it into action today. Mr. Seller, Mrs. Seller, I really feel that right now is the best time to get moving in the market. We have low inventory, the prices are rising, and it's really the good time to do it. I've felt this way for quite a while. I keep letting all my clients know this, and I've found that a lot of success. We've had a lot of over the listing price offers come through. A lot of them sometimes all cash. So just put it into action. Give them permission to feel the way that they're feeling in their current circumstances. Build that bond. So that's feel, felt, found. Any questions on that? We can answer them down the road. Okay, prospecting methods. Bob, you and I know that there are a ton of prospecting methods, and there's actually more than what we have here. Here's some of the, oh my God. So these are some of the tops that I actually have on another sheet right here. It's door knocking, warm or cold, calls warm or cold, events, mailers, pop-bys, your sphere of influence, word of mouth, social media, videos, blogs, either written or video, email drips, and then online. So why is this important when we're talking about scripts? Well, it's because you need to understand how you need to use a script in each one of these. So some of the stuff that we talked about in one of my last webinars with Active Rain was events. And for events, it's such an easy, warm script. It's, hey Bob, how are you, man? I haven't seen you for a little while. I want to let you know that we're putting on an event. It's going to be at my house. It's going to be a Cinco de Mayo party. We're going to have a mariachi band. We're going to have some food. We're going to have margaritas and some beer. And I was just wondering if you want to come on by. It's just like you're talking to a friend when it comes to events. But the real ones, the hard ones that we're going to cover today, we're going to cover some door knocking. We're going to cover some Popeyes. We're going to this whole open house thing. How do I get people? How do I not repel them? And let's roll into this, man. We only got less than 30 minutes left, and I'm going to go deep on some of these scripts and stuff. All right, everybody out there who's doing open houses, if you guys aren't doing them, you're missing the boat. I know people have their own beliefs, patterns in regards to, should I or should not do them? Are they a waste of time? Are they not? Well, I can tell you right now, they account for about 40% of our buyers, if not 50% of our buyers here in our marketplace. So you're at the open house, you've set all these signs up, and you went around and you door knocked, 50 to 100 people around the house, inviting them to the open house on Sunday. You're there, you're looking snappy, and you're ready to get some clients. What do you say to them? How do you get them to leave their information? This is what I do. When I'm walking through the house, prepping the home, turning the lights on, open the doors, all that stuff, I set up a strategic route through the house. I kind of blockade them off on one side as I approach them at the front door and make them veer a certain direction if I can. So it goes like this. Bob, you're going to enter the house, right? And I say, hi, welcome to our open house today. You know what? My name's Greg. As I'm doing this, I'm handing them a flyer, both from my lender and a property flyer on the home. Hi, welcome to open house. How did you find us today? Was it the open house signs, or did you guys use, was it the web, or did your agent send you? What I did right there is I just qualified these folks. I'm also doing some checking on where the most effective use of our money, either online or just put up a ton of signs. What is pulling them the most effective, right? And I asked them, very nonchalantly if they're working with an agent. That way I qualified them immediately up front to know if I should spend time with them or just allow them to walk through the house, be courteous and kind, and offer to have their agent call us for any additional information. So first, let's say, Bob, you have an agent this time, right?
Okay. Yeah. So our agent sent us over here. They're actually going to meet us here a little bit, a couple minutes.
That's fantastic. Who are you guys using?
We're using Ryan Alley, Keller Williams.
Oh my gosh, you're in great hands. What a great agent. I can't wait to see them. I haven't seen them for a long time. But until then, here's some flyers. Make it your own home. Walk through it. I'm here to answer any questions for you. So what I did is I also complimented this other agent. It is absolutely paramount in this business. Do not criticize another agent publicly.
Ryan Alley? Oh my goodness, you should dump him.
What?
I said, Ryan Alley, you should dump that guy. He's horrible.
Ditch that fool. But be complimentary. It is so important because you know what? You don't know what's going to get back to that person. And when I first got in the business, there was a couple of agents I just hated, right? And my father was telling me, Greg, you got to control yourself. Do not get upset. Do not say anything negative about them because you're going to need that SOB one of these days on another transaction. And I'm like, and it has come true several times for us. Okay, enough about me. Let's go back in the door. Open houses. Okay, so you have an agent. Now, you don't have an agent. Okay? Hey, Bob, welcome to the open house. Here's a couple of flyers. How'd you find us? The open house signs, the web, or did your agent send you?
Yeah, we were just driving around the neighborhood and saw the signs and thought we'd stop by. We're getting ready to really dive into the market.
Oh my gosh, those signs, man, everyone's into the high tech and everything, but the good old signs still work. That's fantastic. Well, hey, you know what? Here are flyers. I want to get your opinion on something. When you get in the backyard, tell me what your thoughts are about the layout of the backyard in regards to the pool and the tennis court, would you? I would love to hear your feedback. Until then, make the house yours and just go ahead and just look through anything, and I'm here for any questions. I gave them permission to go into the house, look around, but I also give them a reason to come back and talk to me. And coming back and talking to me is where I'm going to start building that relationship with them. Bob, wait, I'm glad you walked through. What did you think about that backyard, by the way?
Yeah, that tennis court's a little bit too close to the pool. I just, I'm generally long on my serve. I would hate to fall in.
You know what? A couple of people have said that as well. I'm not a tennis player. I play almost every other sport, but I just don't play tennis. I have bad knees. But you know what? What suggestions, what other suggestions would you have for the house, just so I can give feedback to the owner?
The bedrooms are good size. We really like those, and man, but they need to update the tile in that kitchen. Who puts tile in their kitchen anyway? Grout, that's just dirty. It's hard to keep clean.
You know what? I agree with you. I had grout in my past houses. So what I'm hearing you say is that you're looking for a home that you would like a tennis court, but you don't want it too close to the pool, and you prefer maybe a granite or some sort of solid surface in the kitchen. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah.
You know what? There is a house at 456 Maple. Just came on the other day. Have you seen that one?
Nope. This is the first one we've been through.
Oh my goodness. You know what? I have a couple of other listings coming up on the market here in the next couple of days. I think we haven't, it was one of my partners. He has the listing. I haven't been into it yet, but he says it could fit what you're looking for. Would you be comfortable in just giving me some of your contact information there if I could follow up with you and be able to get the information over to you?
Yeah, I'd be comfortable with that.
Okay, hey, I really appreciate and then I You know, at that point, I take a pad of paper or my notebook, and I just gently push it right in front of them, and I let them fill it out, and then I verify the information. It's an old school technique, but I mean, it still works. Like you're repeating the phone number. So your phone number is 925-555-1212, and that's what they wrote down, right? But you say, so your phone number is 925-1221. No, 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 no. It's 1212. I'm like,
Right.
oh, it's a good way just to catch them and see if they're giving you bad information. You know, it's just again, it's old school, but it is effective, because if they want to talk to you, they will give you the information there properly. At that point, I put the Ford technique into action. So tell me, folks, you know, where you guys moving from? Why are you picking the area? You know, all these standard questions, but they don't know they're being scripted right now. You know, they don't understand. They don't. I'm not, because I'm not coming across. Remember, I'm not being robotic. I'm being, you know, legitimately interested in what their lifestyle change is going to be looking like. And the more I get into their life, the more value I bring to them in regards to market knowledge, the more the higher reception I'm going to have.
Scripts is maybe the wrong name for this. I mean, these are techniques, right? Like,
Yeah.
well, you roll into Ford, and then I mean, you've got somebody on the hook there. Now you just want to build a relationship with them, right? You want them to think you're interested in them, which you are. You want them to like you. You know, you want them to start sharing some things about themselves so that you can, you know, file that away and have that for use later. So talk about, so I've agreed to let you follow up with me and contact me later. Give me a scenario about how you might do that.
Well, number one would be actually following up. 48% of all salespeople do not follow up with a lead one time. They just like, hey, Bob, great to see you. And basically I throw the card away because I'm afraid to contact them. Get out of your way and get into your role. Start being a real estate agent. Start following up. Be the professional that you should be. So there's groundbreaking information right there. Just make the stinking phone call, okay? And do it the next day. So you're a Sunday open house. Call them Monday, and say, hey, Bob, Greg McDaniel. I met you at 123 Main Street open house yesterday. Hey, I just want to quickly check in with you. You know, when we were talking, you were saying that you wanted a tennis court, not too close to the pool, solid surface countertops. And I'd mentioned that I have another listing that's coming up. And then you give them the value. You know, I did some research for you last night and this morning. I found 5 different properties that I think could be, you know, fitting the criteria. What's your best email? And that's if they didn't give it to you. And you enter it in and you send them the email. You start following up with them, making sure that they're pre-qualified as buyers. You know, all of that stuff. Just make the call as soon as you humanly can. You know, the old saying is that, you know, this is for online leads, but you know, if you call a lead back within 5 minutes, you have a 21 times more likelihood of working with them. What if you're just a human and you just want to follow up with them from an open house? I had a lady yesterday. I was following up with her, and I hadn't talked to her in months, right? And I kept trying. She said, Greg, thank you so much for just following up with me. It really means a lot, and we are definitely going to call you when we're going to move, and it's going to be about 3 months, but please follow up with us as well. And it was just because I made the phone call. So that is as difficult as it gets when it comes to following up with people. Call them, give them the value add that they asked for or that you think that they need in regards to their next stage in life. And yeah, that is as hard as it gets.
Simple stuff. So responding to online leads, you guys, Carrie's going to send you right now a link. We're not going to dive into this. I mean, there are a million different scenarios inside of responding to online leads. We've got a white paper that we did that's a PDF you guys can download that has, I think it has 10 different scenarios in there in terms of responding to online leads. So how do you respond to somebody who requested a CMA? How do you respond to somebody that was looking at or saved a specific property? How do you respond to somebody that just set a search up on your website and hasn't drilled in on a certain property yet? So there's a whole bunch of kind of email or voice scripts that you can use for responding to online leads inside of that download that Carrie just sent you the link for. So you can find that link on your GoToWebinar control panel there, down in the little chat area. All of you guys should have just gotten that link from Carrie. Go check that out. It's a deeper dive than we have the time to do today into online leads. So Greg, what about the pop by? And you're a master of this. I know you like to do this when you're out and about. You got extra time in a neighborhood. You've just gone on a listing appointment or something. Talk a little bit about the pop by and what you're saying to these folks when you show up on their door.
Pop bys, you guys, if you don't know what these are or you have not done them, kind of view them as like a miniature door knock. But it is to people that you already know and they know you. It's a very easy, warm way of going about it. It's probably one of the most powerful things you can do to prospects, either current, past, or future. And it is simply this. If you're driving around the neighborhoods that you guys work and you're like, oh, hey, Bob and Sue live right there, and you keep going by, that's not a pop by. That's a pass by. Okay? for a pop by, you say, Bob and Sue live right there. Hold up, I'm going to go say hi to them really quickly. Now, we've identified the home we're going to go talk to them, but the real thing is what am I going to say? Are they going to want to see me? I mean, I forget. I'm going to go. Okay, here are a few things, and I'm going to give this to you. So these are just a few of the pop by reasons to just drive by and see them. So here one. I drove by your home yesterday and I couldn't stop thinking about you. These are the scripts you'd use at the front door. Or I have something for you. I wanted to make sure you received the invitation to the blank. Did you see the listing down the street? Or I haven't seen you for such a long time. We have something we call the good guy list. It's all of our vendors that we use and we've vetted that are good. And we call them so the good guys. So and we just say, hey, I thought you would like to have our good guy list, for the blank we talked about. Or do a simple one. Hey, congratulations! I remembered your birthday last week. Now, how are you doing? Or by the way, I may need to update my email addresses for you guys. We're got a great new product rolling out, and I want to make sure you get it. Or have you guys considered buying another home in Tahoe or Hawaii? You guys get the drift I'm talking about here. It's not a heavy conversation. Another one is, hey, I was in a meeting right around the corner from you guys, and I just want to pop by and see how you're doing. How's little Johnny? How's the summer treating you? Or the winter, or whatever season that you guys are in. I had a lady that I coached for a while. She's awesome, older lady, massive gardener, right? And she's like belonged more gardening clubs than I knew even existed in our area. But she would not do doors. She would not do talk calls. She was not going to do anything like that. But she was great at networking. So I convinced her finally, after having to twist her arm to go do pop by. She's like, well, what do I bring? She brought this little plant, right? And it was like a little succulent that you didn't have to water, right? And she gave one to me, and I effectively killed it. I don't know how I did that, but it was a novelty little gift that she brought by, and I made her go do 10 of these. No, I started with 5 of these in 1 week, right? And she finally, grudgingly agreed. She came back that next week grinning from ear to ear. I'm like, you had fun, didn't you? She said, I had such a good time. I can't believe how much these people wanted to see me. They were so thankful. They brought me in. We had tea, yada, 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 yada. The point is this. Do the pop buys. If you get that little gut feeling, go by and say hi to them. It doesn't matter the reason. And if you don't have anything, just be you. Hey, I was in the area. I wanted to say hi. How's life? Then if they're not there, flip over your business card if you can. Or if you have notepad you carry in your car, whatever. Hey, Bob, so sorry I missed you today. Love to catch up. Give me a ring. Greg. Leave it on the front door and keep going. They'll just know that you were there and that you wanted to say hi and see them. That is very powerful information.
Greg, do you have? Are we going to share the list of some of the reasons, the pop by reasons? Okay, so you guys will get the list of pop by reasons. That'll be included with the recording that we send out to you guys. Hopefully later today. We'll see. It might be first thing tomorrow. All right. So we're going to some random doors now, right? Not somebody we know. Maybe it's somebody near a listing that we're about to hold an open house on. What are we saying then?
All right. So the open house is going to be an easy one. Knock, knock, knock. Hi, my name is Greg McDaniel. I work with J. Rockcliffe Realtors. We're going to be having an open house on Sunday from 1 to 4 at 123 Main Street. I just wanted to come by today personally, and I just wanted to invite you to the home. And I just wanted to see if you guys, maybe might know anyone that you would like to invite to take a look at it. Maybe some friends or family members you might want to have them move a little closer to you. That's your open house. That is your easiest, warmest cold door knock you can do, because you're not asking for them to do anything. You're not asking them to sell their house or anything. It's just like, hey, I just want to invite you over and be a nosy neighbor. Come hang out, take a look. whatever. Get out of the heat. Get in the air conditioning with me. Let's watch the game. Sit on the couch. Let's watch the game together. Whatever.
Greg, do you ever do door knocking after you sell a place? Do you ever go through a neighborhood after you sold a place to let the neighbors know what the house sold for?
Oh my God, it's one of my favorites. Are you kidding me?
What would that one sound like? Give me the quick, the couple intro sentences that you're saying when you show up on their door and you want to let them know you just sold a house in the neighborhood.
Awesome. So the intro always goes like this: who you are, where you're from, and what the heck are you doing on their front step? Okay. Greg McDaniel, J. Rockcliffe Realtors. I just want to let you know some exciting news. We just sold the home right around the corner from you. We had multiple offers. This actually happened to us. We had multiple offers, and we sold the home for $200,000 over list price. And that will get a conversation going. Okay.
It can't always be like that, but
no, it can't. That's just one of the extreme cases. But I mean, typically it's like, hey, I just want to let you know we just sold the home around the corner from you, and I just wanted to let you know we sold it for $1,050,000, and I just want to see if you guys might be thinking about making a move as well, or if you have any questions about the market, I can answer for you. And it's just showing success. That's all purely as it is. And at the end, again, every script that I have, it starts off with a script, then it automatically breaks into forward at some point, so that you're, family, occupation, recreation, and dreams, getting into these people's lives, getting legitimately interested in what they have, what their value is, and what they're bringing. So let's do a cold knock, okay? And this is a script that I will give to you guys as well. It's a 3-page script, detailed out in multiple different ways, but essentially goes like this. Hi, Bob?
Yeah.
My name is Greg McDaniel. I'm a real estate agent here in the area with J. Rockcliffe Realtors. I'm dropping by to find out whether or not you received the postcard that we mailed out the other day. It helped us asking people to go to a site where they could get an evaluation on their value. Did you guys get that?
I'm not sure. My wife generally grabs the mail on the way in, and I didn't. If we got it, I didn't see it.
You know what? You know what? I'm the same way in my household too, and that's why I'm actually here right now. I brought another one for you just in case we got lost in the mail, or we hit the trash basket too quickly. But I just want to give you guys another one, give you another opportunity to maybe just have an opportunity to see what your home is worth in today's market. Question for you. Do you guys plan on making a move by chance?
No, I think we're going to be here for a while. We just did the addition on the back. We're going to be here for a while.
Oh, terrific, man! That's awesome. What'd you guys add on?
We expanded the kitchen out a little bit.
Well, that you can't hurt doing that. How long have you guys lived here?
We've been here for 3 years now.
No kidding. I've been here for about 20 years. I love this place. Where'd you guys move from? But
I came from Seattle.
Seattle.
Yeah.
So you guys like the rain down in California? I mean the sun down in California versus the rain, huh?
That's actually a myth in Seattle that we perpetuate to keep people from California from moving up to Seattle. But yeah.
You know what? You don't have to worry about me moving up there. It's not. I love it here. Basically, what I'm doing here, guys, is that I'm going through a set series of questions, and this is old school Mike Ferry stuff, right? It's just there's not going to find a revolutionary script that you're going to make the door open to every single person. But again, it's getting to know these folks, and you're helping them understand, that you're actually genuinely interested. One of the best techniques you can do when you're door knocking out there is when you're approaching the property. You have to legitimately find something that you like about the house. So this happened for me a couple months back. I was door knocking for a client in a high-end area, about $2 to $3 million homes. And this lady opened the door. We had a great conversation. I did the script that we just went over. And since at that point I was starting to redecorate my house and because I just moved into a new property, I said, gosh, you know what? Can you help me understand a little bit more about these plants right here, these succulents? I mean, how do they live long? What do you have to do? So on and so forth. And I asked because I was genuinely interested in her. And she was kind of giving me the cold shoulder at the door before that. Well, you guys, it went from cold shoulder to her physically grabbing me by the hand, dragging me through her house into her backyard. She has 8/10 of an acre. I saw every plant she had back there, okay? She was telling me about how old they are, what they do. Then she started ripping them out of the ground, putting them in a bag for me, and says, here's your starter kit. Throughout our conversation, I said, oh, wow, that's awesome. You guys wouldn't be selling this place. This place is gorgeous. She's like, oh, yeah, we're going to be selling in about a year. Well, do you think I could have got that information by just being a robotic script guy at the front? Not a chance. Not a chance. And It's just being genuinely interested. It could be the plant, it could be the front door, it could be the pavers, it could be the lawn, it could be a plant, a car, windows. It doesn't matter. Be interested with something at the front door. A lot of people think that you have to have if you're talking to the person and they're not going to be making a move, that all of a sudden that door is a cold door. Move on, find someone else, right? No, that's not true at all. There's a technique that we came up with. It's called the carousel. All right. So you build the bond between you and the homeowner. Then you're going to break that barrier, that bubble, right? And you're going to go from facing them face to face. You're going to pick a side and go shoulder to shoulder with them, facing the street at this point. This is where the carousel kicks in. Now you take your finger and you point at every single house you can see. Well, Mrs. Jones, Bob, I know that you're not going to be making a move, but what about that person? What about that person? What about that person? Maybe that house over there. What about this home? Maybe that house, and maybe this home. Don't stop. Literally point to every single house. You will be amazed at what happens next. The next thing that's going to happen is going to be this. Well, these are older folks here. I don't think they're going to be there for much longer. I think his health is failing. They're a young couple, just moved in with two young kids. That guy travels all the time. That couple fights, every single day. These people have a dog that won't stop barking. I really wish you could get them to move. These folks are partiers, and they really kind of put us in an awkward position on Saturday nights. These are my best friends here, and my parents live right next to us. Well, what did you just learn? You just found out that there are some folks that they would really like to get moving away from where you are, right? Well, that's a lead. Or the guy's going to croak around the corner. That's a lead. And they'll tell you like, oh, but don't let them know that I told you. Not a chance. I would never share something like that. That is one of the most powerful things you can do. Never stop. Always keep talking and keep moving forward in regards to your conversations.
I want to, okay, so here's the deal, Greg. We're not going to be able to get through the rest of it. We have 8 minutes left. So maybe we can get you to agree to come back and do buyer consultation and seller consultation. But will you do that for us? I know you will.
Yeah, man, I would love to do it. I mean, this is why I love hanging out with you guys. I love bringing value to you, because when you guys take into action what I teach here, you make more money. That makes me happy. Everyone's like, great, well, what are you going to get out of it?
Nothing. So before we go, nothing. Just the satisfaction of knowing that there might be some people on the street more well equipped to close more deals in their business. That's good stuff. Do this one for me though. The lower your price. Can you go through how you approach a client in terms of lowering their price? And I realize it probably has something to do with the start here. And when we bring you back, we're going to go through buyer consultation and then sitting down with sellers or like the listing appointment and some of the scripts inside of that. But I kind of promised in the thing that we would talk about getting people to lower their price, and I would imagine there's a lot of agents out there where that's a really uncomfortable conversation to have to go to a client and say, look, I know we listed this thing at $310, but I think in order to sell it, we're going to have to come down to $295. So how do you approach that conversation? And we'll make that the last one, and then we'll get you scheduled to come back to go completely through buyer consultation and seller consultation.
Sweet, man. Absolutely. Okay, so guys, when it comes to lowering your price, this is all about setup, okay? It's all about setup. It's not one of these conversations that you're so scared of, like a BHAG, a big, hairy, audacious goal. You might want to do that in learning how to do, seller price reductions. When we do this, like we just did this with a client of ours 2 days ago. It was a condo we brought on, and it was way overpriced. I mean, dramatically overpriced. And we knew that going in. So if you know that you're going to have a price problem, or you should build this into every single one of your listing contracts, it's like, Bob, you know what? I really am looking forward to working with you and your family and helping you guys get this home sold at the highest and best price. There's only a few reasons why we don't sell a home in the first couple of weeks, and that comes down to pricing. Would you agree?
Yeah, or maybe you're just not marketing it well enough, but
you know what? That's something we can talk about. But all the stats that we've seen nationally and locally is the fact that if we don't get an offer within the first 14 days, it's going to be our price. Because we know your location is fine. You got a great port location. Get a phone call. Sorry about that, guys. You know what? It's going to be pricing. So I would like us to be ahead of the market instead of behind the market. We've seen multiple of our clients that they wait too long to do a price reduction if it's needed, not saying that it is, but if it's needed, to do it sooner than later so that we can be ahead of the market. Because we have about 14 days until our buyer pool is depleted for your home. Now, we do not want to become stale bread on the market. We want to make sure that you're top of mind and that people see you as a good value for their money. So this is what I'm proposing that we're going to do. If we do not have any offers at 14 days after we go into the market, we're going to reassess our price and adjust accordingly to the market. Is that fair?
Yeah, that sounds fair. Actually, you know what, Greg? We'd like to do a little bit longer. We think that maybe we'd like to go for 4 weeks. Would that be something that we could do?
Well, you know, we could always do that, Bob. But when we originally started talking, you said that you have a job that you're moving down to LA and that you kind of need to get going. Is that still true?
Yeah, but I might have a little bit of flexibility in my time frame on that.
Okay, well, why don't we cross that bridge when we get there? Let's agree that at 14 days, we're going to reevaluate our pricing if we haven't gotten, we haven't received an offer that's suitable for you, and we'll take the next step together. Is that fair?
Yeah, that sounds fair.
Excellent. Press hard. There's 3 copies. But yeah, so that's a price reduction script.
You actually say that, I bet, right?
Oh yeah, not press hard. There's 3 copies. We do everything documented, but I mean, we set it up. I mean, we straight up tell you, look, the market it's a fluid animal. It's not stationary. So it could be one way right now, but it's going to be another way. In 2 days. It happened in our market right now. I mean, we were just gangbusters 3 weeks ago. I mean, multiple offers, all cash, people go way over list price, and something snapped. We don't know what it was. All of a sudden, the market softened, and we're seeing price reductions now. We're seeing people accepting contingent offers, and that's an example. We can't control that. So, I mean, that's why we built the pricing reduction into our initial script. And I know
so you guys are having that conversation before I mean, it's all about the setup in that particular scenario. So we're going to have you come back. It's not going to be this one. If you guys want to join us next week, there's some loan programs out there that you might not be aware of, and every additional loan program that, right, as these guidelines start to loosen up a little bit, we've seen crazy tough lending situations over the last few years, but these things are starting to loosen up a little bit. We're going to have the folks from Prime Lending join us and just talk about some products they have, some products that are available at a variety of different banks. You guys can join us next week for that. We'll get Greg scheduled to come back. We'll talk buyer consultations and seller consultations. We'll do a whole hour around that with Greg. I don't know when. We'll put something on the calendar. I would imagine it will be in September, maybe right after I get back from my vacation to Cabo. Greg mentioned, hey man, you got to take time to replenish yourself, my friend. Greg mentioned your BHAG, your big, hairy, audacious goal. If you guys want to send that to him, you want to just put it out there into the world. Maybe you don't want to send it to Greg. Send it to your broker. Send it to your significant other. Get it out there though, right? And you can do that with his email address right there. If you guys have a question that don't get answered, we're going to spend a couple of minutes here answering some questions. If you have a question that doesn't get answered, you can go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/ActiveBrain. Ask your questions there. So we did record this, okay? With the recording, what we're going to do, we'll get that recording turned around. We'll get it put up on a blog post on ActiveBrain. We'll get you guys emailed out the recording. Was that our closing music? We'll get you guys emailed out the recording.
This is this horrible, horrible app I have that at 11 o'clock all the time it has a stupid birthday song. It's so embarrassing. Sorry.
You can't delete the app?
I've deleted it twice, and it's still there.
It will include the link where you can get the download for the internet scripts. We'll include Greg's reasons for popping by. There was one other thing that you were going to throw in there too. Is that right, Greg?
Yeah, so we're having our reasons to pop by. It's 2 sheets of that. I'm going to have our 3-sheet door knocking script. I also I have 2 scripts that I got from a team in Florida that are so stupid simple, and they have nothing to do with real estate. And these guys, this team gets about 2 leads a day using these because it's so easy to do.
Okay, so you guys will get all of that. I will email it out to you. Anybody that was on the call and even anybody that registered and wasn't on the call, we'll get that stuff emailed out to you. at the end of the day, if you miss the email or whatever happens, you can always find that stuff on the Active Rain University blog. So literally just go to Active Rain. Up at the top, you can search Active Rain University. It'll pull the blog up. There'll be the recording there, all the links. There's a bunch of you guys saying, hey, where do I get those links? Are you going to email it? What's going on with that? That stuff will all get sent out to you. Greg, and a couple of questions. I know we're at 1 minute past the hour, so if you guys got to go, I totally understand. Ann says, so you guys use 14 days as kind of your reduction time. Our turns are like, our market's a little bit longer than that. Is like, would you suggest always using 14 days, or would there be scenarios with, if you had a little bit different market, you might say 30 days?
And like I said in the very beginning of the webinar, you know, this is just what we do in our marketplace. It's what works for us. So if you have a longer turn, maybe you have a 60, 80, 90-day time on the market, maybe do a 30, maybe do a 40-day turn, whatever it really takes for you guys to be effective. Be always ahead of the market, though. That's the most important thing. Never let that property sit there and get stale. You know, it's so important that you always are like, hey, look, if this thing isn't working, boom, we've got to go ahead and get a new price up there. Let's get these buyers reinvigorated, and let's get more people in here and sell your house. So yeah, stay ahead of the market. Do what works for you. Great question.
So a couple of you guys have said that thing's not working. That to get this out, download the scripts. I'm not sure why. I just showed you. I just did it there. So Bob, or there was a few of you guys that were saying. I guess my only suggestions might be. Try a different browser maybe. I'm using a Chrome browser, and it seemed to work there for me. So I apologize if you're having a hard time downloading that. If you're not able to do it, you can email me at bob@activerain.com, and I will forward this PDF right here. I just downloaded it, so I'll send that to you guys if you have trouble downloading that thing from this simple scripts for converting and responding to online leads area. I see a bunch of there was 4 or 5 of you guys that we're having a little bit of trouble with that. Okay, awesome, Greg. Man, I really appreciate you doing these for me. It's been fun. This is our 4th or 5th one now. We're gonna have you back sometime a little bit later in September. Thanks, man.
Bob, thank you. Thank you for everyone who came to this. I get so much joy for passing on this knowledge that I have been given in my career, and I hope that everything and anything that I've brought to you, that it was valuable and that you did not waste an hour of your life with me. And if you have any questions, email me. I'm deadly serious about that. I'd be happy to help you in any way, shape, or form. Bob, I cannot wait to come back and knock it out of the park again with you, my friend.
Awesome, Greg. Thanks. Hey, you guys have a fantastic weekend, and maybe you'll remember, you got to internalize some of these things. You got to practice a little bit, right? But there's definitely some techniques in here that you guys can put into play for your open houses this weekend, or when you head out there to knock on some of those doors, or whatever you guys might be doing to drum up some more business for yourself. Greg, thank you, sir. On behalf of Carrie, who's always back there behind the scenes, my name's Bob Stewart here at Active Rain University. Have a great weekend, everybody. Bye-bye.